What up, YouTube? What up, YouTube? What up, what up, what up? I got $43. Holy shit. Payment from Chris. I got $40. I appreciate that. That's most definitely what's up. $43.45. Huey, that's definitely enough to start the weekend off. Uh, Shout out to Daxie Murph. That's what's up. Thank you, TJ, for your $1 donation. Just chilling out on the weekend. I might make some dank weekend nachos, but you don't want to see that. Hmm. All these generous donations, I appreciate it. That's most definitely what's up. Nacho, typical nachos. Ah, fangirl Kate, I make some pretty good weekend snacks. I tell you what, they're delicious. But nobody wants to see me make that. Shout out to Gabriel. Thank you for your $1 to Cash App. Shout out to Goonstock on the beat. Most definitely. There you go. I cannot go live at the same time with two different videos. I hate sleepouts. It's Friday. I received some more money. Farrell, thank you for the $1 donation. We want to see another pizza or burger for sure. Cooking videos are most definitely what's up. Nicholas, thank you for your $5. Shout out to Godfather666 for a happy birthday. That's what's up. Happy birthday to Godfather666. That's what's up. Got like 3 beers left. I'm definitely feeling tipsy. Shout out to Sixer. Thank you for your donation of $11.72 to PayPal. Appreciate it. A goddamn $58.60. How much is that? Okay, $58.90. That's a nice little chunk of change. I appreciate you. Shout out to Brennan. Thank you for your $5 donation. A toast to a good weekend, Cobes. Cheers. Thank you for your $5 donation to PayPal. I might make a dang plate of nachos because it's the weekend and because my fans are awesome. We need three ingredients for our nachos. Some sharp cheddar cheese. Some nacho cheese Doritos. And some bacon French onion dip. I know that sounds like a whole lot to remember, but trust me, it's not. Got our plates. And to make these delicious nachos, you simply need to repeat step 1 through 3 twice. Get open, you motherfucker. You too. Nacho cheese Doritos. Yummy. Scooch back for a second. Step 1. Making some weekend nachos. You're gonna add a layer of chips, just like that. You fucking wanker. Okay, so we're gonna add some nacho cheese, Doritos crisps. Step 2, we're gonna take a sprinkle of our sharp cheddar cheese. We're gonna add it to the top of our chips. Step 1, add our chips. Step 2, add the cheese. Put a little sprinkle right there. There we go. Now it's nicely covered. Step 3, we're going to take Dean's fresh onion with bacon dip. Now we're going to take a couple dollops. Dollop it on top of our nacho chips. What can I say that chip dip's that good? But now that you got the cheese dip and chips, we're going to repeat. Basically cheddar bacon, French onion, nacho cheese. Now we're going to add more. Now, if you really want some dank nachos, double your ingredients. Got enough cheese on here. Bit extra difficult to make. put the ingredients up. Oh, God damn it. Trying to pick up the Doritos. Gonna spill them all over the place like a fucking retard that I am. Fucking useless piece of shit. Now, of course, I had to make a fucking mess while making these goddamn fucking nachos. Now let's see if the useless retard can work a microwave. Shocker, the retard can fucking work a microwave. Holy shit. Put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, 34 seconds. Short minute bursts. You'll see what it looks like when it's done. It'll have that nacho look. No, weekend nachos. Oh joy, go Cobra. You don't want to put too many ingredients because it can melt over your plate. Leave it for another minute and 34 seconds. Sickos. That plate of nachos is hot. You see when the cheese is all melted with the fresh onion dip? That's what you want. Like, legit. Oh, shit. These nachos are hot. I have to let them cool off. Those nachos are hot. I refuse to support sickos. Y'all can gross and make puke faces all the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck. That's how I make nachos. If you don't like the way I make nachos, make them differently. I use nacho cheese Doritos, sharp cheddar cheese, and a bacon French onion dip. Piss off. Fuck the haters. Fuck them. Now, after microwaving in the minute plus mark region, after microwaving those crisps or chips, as the Americans call them, our nacho cheese Doritos have nacho flavor. Did you pay attention to steps 1, 2, and 3? I hope so, because if you didn't, you can't make nachos. Step 1, you add a very small layer of chips. Then you add your nacho ingredients as follows: And then step 2 and 3 is repeat. You want a plate full of nachos. What sucks about eating nachos? You go to grab like a chip from the top layer. Top layer chips have all the goodness, and bottom layer chips, not so much. And it's like, okay, you want to make better nachos? You got to do nachos just like that. Chips, toppings, repeat. You see what I'm saying? So that when you microwave it or nuke it or put it in the oven, you have a layer of chips on the bottom that has cheese and a layer of chips on the top that has cheese. That's how you make a proper nacho. 'Cause I don't know about y'all, but I love nachos, especially on the weekend. But nachos suck when only the top layer has cheese and the bottom layer, not so much. I'm like, dude, that's why you chips, cheese, ingredients, and then when you're out of your ingredients list, you repeat the process. I'll give you an example. These nachos contain nacho cheese Doritos, sharp cheddar cheese, and some bacon French onion dip. So I do a small layer of the nacho Doritos cheese chips, crisps, whatever you want to call them, a sprinkle of cheese, a couple scoops of that bacon French onion dip. Repeat. You make this big old pile of chips. Bottom pile has the same ingredients as the top pile, and when it all nukes and microwaves together, you're getting a decent plate of nachos, my friend. If you're gonna make nachos, every ingredient that you make on your nachos has to repeat at least twice, in my opinion. Chips, cheese, French onion bacon dip. Repeat. You repeat the same ingredients and you stack it like I was just doing on camera. Now, when I eat those fucking nachos, the bottom chips are going to have cheese too. You cannot tell me that when you're making nachos, you take a chip and it's like, okay, the top layer is phenomenal. It's got all the ingredients, but the bottom layer doesn't have shit. And it's kind of a disappointment. You see what I'm saying, YouTube? Yeah, it doesn't have to be the exact same recipe as my nachos. Oh no, 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 no. The nachos I just got done making are stoner bachelorette, bachelor college food type nachos. Now you want something tasty, you don't give a fuck about the calories, and you want it quick and you want it now. There you go. Now, after letting those bastards cool for a hot minute, we're gonna dig into our nachos and you're gonna see for yourself. Bottom layer has all your nacho ingredients. Then the top layer has the same amount of ingredients. It all congeals, so you got layers of chips, cheese, sauce, etc. Uh, and if you're paying attention, you know what's up. Oh, fuck me. Earlier, I took a Reese's peanut butter cup Christmas tree. You know the Reese's peanut butter cups that come out in the shape of Christmas trees. And I stuffed it in a 2 liter of Pepsi and I shook it up. I did that earlier because I was bored and I wanted to see what it would taste like. And sticking a Reese's peanut butter cup into a Pepsi Cola soda pop. Okay, that is some next level shit, my friends. Pepsi with the taste of Reese's peanut butter cup is so delicious. Literally, you grab some Pepsi, and if you got like a little 2 liter, or excuse me, a one, you know the little bottles about the same size as this. The 1 milliliter. If you had a 2 liter of Pepsi, you have to stick more than one in there, dude. I'd stick like 4 or 5 in there if it was a 2 liter. You grab a 2 liter of Pepsi Cola and your Reese's peanut butter cup candies, and you stick it in like the ones with actual chocolate, not the Reese's Pieces, which are delicious. But I digress. Stuffing Reese's chocolate candies with actual chocolate on the outside into your Pepsi Cola, and you shake it up until all the chocolate and the Reese's and the peanut butter dissolve. And then you wait for the fizz to die down after shaking it up with all that sugary goodness, and you drink it. You don't even know, YouTube, okay, if Pepsi Cola did a Reese's peanut butter cup flavored cola, it would sell like hotcakes. I tested it. I was at my buddy's house drinking and enjoying the weekend. Hint, hint. And like freaking, you know what I'm saying? I tested it out and I was just like, why is this not a thing? You ever get like super in a random mood, wink, wink, and you're just like, I wonder what this and this would taste like. In my opinion, the secret to making good nachos, you could have homemade tortilla chips. That's fine. You want the secret to making good nachos? Your first layer has to be chips, then all of your ingredients for your nachos on top of it, and then you do a second layer if you can fit it. Okay? So if you bust through that first layer of nachos, like this is delicious, your second layer of nacho is going to be fucking delicious, dude. I've not been paying attention to my phone the last couple of days. Being as I'm King Cobra JFS, my phone blows up all the time, and it's just like half the time I ignore it, and I'll check it when I feel it's convenient. And that's no offense to my YouTube fans or my potential friends or anything like that. It's just how it is. Now, with the nachos that I've made, the bottom layer of nacho cheese Doritos is going to have a layer of sharp cheddar cheese and that creamy, delicious French onion bacon French onion dip. And the top layer is going to have the same layers, dude. So if you're eating the entire plate of nachos, every layer, bottom layer and top layer, have cheese. I'm telling you right now, if you get a plate of nachos at any restaurant, period, and the bottom layer don't have the same ingredients as the top layer, you're not getting proper nachos. Okay, if you want to make the top layer your centerpiece, I get that. But at least put cheese on your bottom nachos. Okay? I cannot stress this enough, cuz you sit there and you're eating your nachos. You're like, oh, these nachos are pretty fucking good. You get done with your top layer, and then you get a couple of pieces, your bottom layer. Okay, your bottom layer of nachos sucks because they're crispy, they're delicious, they're tasty, but they don't have the same layers. Layer your nachos. You want a tip for making delicious nachos? Layer those sons of bitches. I'm telling you, YouTube, you don't even know right now. As somebody who loves to eat nachos, I get excited because I'm like, I'm digging into the top. I get all the top ingredients down, and I'm picking through it, and then I get past that first layer, the second layer, the bottom layer, and when it has no ingredients, it's just dry as fuck tortilla chips. I'm like, oh, I get kind of disappointed, you know. So nacho making 101. Your chips, your cheese, your meats, whatever. Repeat. Chips followed by cheese, followed by every other ingredient on top. Okay, pretty straightforward. If you make nachos like a little plate like I just did, you want to double your layers, YouTube. I cannot stress this enough. You want the perfect nachos. If you don't got enough cheese to double the layers, then just do one layer because it kind of sucks when you're eating nachos and only the top layer has cheese and all the goodies, and then your bottom layer just, you know what I'm saying, YouTube? Fuck that. Now these chips have had a chance to solidify and cool off. Let's get ourselves a piece. Oh shit. First chip off that top layer. Excuse me. YouTube. Mm. These chips. Oh shit. Trying to come off. We caught it. So you got the crisps with the cheese and the dip. Mm. These nacho cheese Doritos crisps with the nacho cheese flavoring. Oh, look at that cheese pull. YouTube, stop it. I told you your boy Cobra knows how to make nachos, and that's not a stretch. Oh, YouTube. It doesn't matter if you're throwing your nachos in the oven or the microwave. Microwave's a little bit quicker. Microwave's where it's at. Look at that cheese pull. Look at those nachos. Hmm. That's how you make fucking nachos. You see this, YouTube? You see this right here? Your top layer's got nachos and cheese. Your bottom layer's got cheese and nachos. Now, by the time I bust through that bottom layer of chips and nachos and cheesy goodness, mm, little chunks of cheese and oh yeah. Mm. Mm. Nacho cheese Doritos crisps are my jam. I love nacho cheese Doritos. Oh, look at that cheese pull. YouTube. YouTube. This is how you make nachos. Even if the flavor profile is not your cup of tea. Whatever you're putting on your nachos, it does not matter. It is your nachos. It is your creation. You make it tasty and beautiful in your own special way. However, in my experience of making nachos, you gotta use the double tap method. Chips or your crisps, your cheese, your dip, repeat, and just stack it. Oh. Mm. You know this combination of nachos and chips and mm. You can make some amazing food with just 3 ingredients in a microwave. Keep in mind this is only nacho cheese Doritos, some shredded cheese, and some French onion bacon dip. Mm. Uh, uh, oh my fucking god, these are so good. Mm. YouTube, see now that I picked away at the top layer, bottom layer's got cheese. You see what I'm getting at? If you're gonna make proper nachos, you gotta double up on your layers. I don't know how you make your nachos, and you may make your nachos with more culturally appropriate ingredients, but you literally, once I got through this top layer, Extra cheese, yes, please. You know what's up, spooky girl? Hell yeah. It is ridiculous how stupid good these nachos are right now. Mm. No, the microwave melted the cheese and it mixed and congealed with the bacon sour cream onion dip. Ooh, I'm gonna set these up. I'm having a foodgasm right now. Mm, mm. Oh my god. YouTube. I said nobody wanted to watch me make nachos, but I guess people wanted to watch me make nachos. Uh, uh, the dish that I just made was just so American, you know. Americans tend to be a fan of the salty, sweet, unhealthy sort of things. And to be fair, it's nacho cheese Doritos. I mean, I don't care what culture you live in. How could you not like nacho cheese Doritos? They're just a classic staple of your mass produced crisp snack. Chips, crisps, whatever you want to call them. I haven't had Doritos in a long time. When you haven't had Doritos in a long time and they're like your favorite chip, you're just like, oh. That I made that plate a little extra big. I'm not gonna lie. My grease, fast food, like junk food craving senses, your sensories for junk food are definitely overloaded when you don't eat those delicious nachos. Now the bacon French dip, it has chunks of bacon in it to go with a classic French onion dip. And then when you microwave it on top of your nachos, it congeals. The French dip melts with the cheddar cheese. And it creates a most decadent flavor profile. You might be familiar with those nachos because I recreated the same recipe, except I also added cheddar sour cream and cheddar ruffles, cheddar sour cream, and cheddar chips. I added a combination of that plus nacho cheese Doritos, plus all the ingredients I used to make my nachos. And I repeat the process every time. The process being, okay, if you've been paying attention, how to make proper nachos. You get a plate, put some chips on there, put some cheese, and whatever else you're putting on top of your nachos. Okay, it all sounds good and groovy, but like, what if you want another layer? So you add another fucking layer. You just do it because you're ballsy like that. Or maybe because someone sees you making a plate of nachos and they're like, shit, I want some. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. Chips, nacho ingredients, repeat. If you can repeat it twice in the same setting, in my personal opinion, you've made a proper plate of nachos. But if you have more toppings than you do chips, this seems kind of like a waste of toppings, in my opinion. So here's the trick. Like I showed you, Cool Cobras, you want to have layers between layers. You get done eating your top layer of nachos, like, oh, these are delicious. Num, 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 num. And then you get to your bottom layer and you still got cheese and chips and whatever else you put on top of it. So you want to repeat your layers. When making nachos, repeat your layers. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. Okay, like when you eat nachos and the top layer has got all the good stuff, all the cheese and the meat and the jalapenos and all these delicious nacho toppings. Fucking, you go to fucking eat your bottom, the top layer, you skim through it, you're like, numb. Then the bottom layer is just naked chips. And you're like, I like nachos and I like chips, but what the fuck is this? Hit the video with a like if you dig what I'm saying, dude. Because 100, if you're going to make nachos, stack your bottom layer with cheese and beef. And then your top layer gets stacked with cheese and beef. And if you put all the extra ingredients to make it look fancy on your top layer, totally get that. I totally get that. Okay, so like if you're doing nachos and you got your chips, your beef, and your cheese, then you repeat the layer a second time, and on your second layer, you're topping it with onions, all these crazy nacho flavors. That's still better than having nothing on your second layer. Just top layer has all the nacho ingredients, and the bottom layer just has chips. No, 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 YouTube, no. Cobra shows you how to make a proper nacho. Even if you don't use the same ingredients, even if you want to be bougie and, make the handmade tortilla chips, that's on you, dude. But I showed you the formula because trust and believe, when you're sitting there at a Mexican restaurant eating nachos as an appetizer, and like even if you're not at a Mexican restaurant, you go to a bar and grill, or a Mexican restaurant, or any place that serves nachos, and you get done eating that top layer of chips, like these are really delicious. Then your bottom layer doesn't have jack shit; it's bone dry. You're just like, it's not that fucking hard to make nachos if you can properly cook beef and you can keep your like tomatoes, lettuce, cheese, onions, guacamole, all these ingredients at a room at the perfect temperature, which isn't that fucking hard, mate. You get your chips, and then you layer it with your beef, your cheese, your onions, whatever. And repeat the layer a second time so that when you bake your nachos and all that cheese melts and you pull it out of the oven, and then your clientele, your friends, your family, your customers, whoever you're serving it to, is going, "Ooh, nachos, how exotic." Because if you're from the UK, you know what I'm saying. You're looking at Mexican food like it's exotic, and let's be real, that's exactly how it is, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. I personally believe the best way to experience someone's culture is through their food and music, but that's just me personally. But I'm too lazy to make my tortilla chips by hand. And because nacho cheese Doritos, do I need to say it anymore? You might get some hardcore motherfuckers who are just like, "You pussy, that's not a real plate of nachos." I'm like, dude, sometimes you don't have the time to make everything from scratch. Like you don't got the time to raise the cow and then slaughter it to make your beef. I mean, okay, if you were that detailed with it, yeah, it'd probably be the best goddamn nachos you've ever fucking tasted. Homemade tortilla chips, homemade cheese, freshly ground beef, like holy shit. One could only just dream of it. But like, okay, you want nachos, you want them now. I show you how to do it. Your tortilla chips, you don't have to use Doritos, but if you're making nachos, I like using nacho cheese Doritos. It just seems to fit. Like milk and cereal, it's just some things just go hand in hand. Layer of chips, layer of cheese, couple scoops of that French onion dip. It's not sour cream. I forget it, but I remember it's French onion dip. It's bacon French onion dip. It's got little chunks of bacon, and it's delicious. Like, okay, you can't afford to be super fancy, and you're just like, and maybe that's too much cheese for your sensational palate. So, like, you don't have to use nacho cheese Doritos. If you want to repeat the recipe with some Cool Ranch Doritos, maybe hit it with some like freshly shredded. Get There's so many awesome. I love cheese. It's so delicious. What's the name of that cheese with the holes in it? Swiss cheese. There we go. Brain fart. I had a brain fart. YouTube. No, but if you do the same recipe with like Cool Ranch Doritos, shredded Swiss cheese, and a little bit of sour cream dip, you get the same effect. If like nacho is nacho flavor choice, man. That's basically how you make not like it doesn't matter what you're using for nachos, okay? That's the basic format to a good nacho. Layer of chips, followed by all the ingredients you put on top of it. then another layer of chips, and then the same layer of ingredients. You gotta bake it in the oven, so be it. Mm. I like using the microwave because I'm a single dude. I love to cook, but sometimes it's just like you don't want to fucking cook. You know how that is. You like food, food's delicious, but cooking's a pain in the ass. So it's like the microwave, it fixes everything. Like you're hungry, you want food now, you don't want to take forever to like prep a bunch of shit. It's like you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're like hungry for a light snack. You're hungry for a light snack. You want a bag of popcorn. You know, you don't want to sit there and like harvest the corn and grow it to make it. You want it now, damn it. You want to take the Orville Redenbacher extra butter popcorn, slap it in the bag in the oven. Beep, 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 beep. How do you know when your popcorn's done? When the popping stops. Pretty straightforward on that. If you haven't figured that out, yeah, boy. Because I do like popcorn. It's a delicious snack. My favorite happens to be Orville Redenbacher, you know, and their extra butter, movie theater extra butter popcorn is just oh, it's paradise, YouTube. You know your popcorn's done when it stops popping. Normally, when you microwave a bag of popcorn, it starts popping and then inflating like your ego, and then when it gets done popping, the bag's puffed up and it stops popping. That's when you know it's done, son. Burnt popcorn is the worst. Okay, like I love popcorn, but like when it's burnt, it tastes so disgusting. You know what I'm saying? And the smell of burnt popcorn, ugh, dude, fuck that shit. Now I was visiting with my friends for a hot minute. They're going through some stuff, but I'm not gonna disclose that on my YouTube. I genuinely feel bad for them, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you think you're having a bad Christmas season, believe me, it could be worse. It always could be worse. And that's kind of how I look at life, you know. I got the lyrics written for the fucking song. So, like, tomorrow is gonna be a solid day for recording, dude. It's Saturday, it's the weekend. No, I haven't gone live in a couple days. I haven't made videos, and the fans are like jonesing. They're like, "Oh, it's the weekend in Cobra. Cobra better be live on the weekend. I don't know what I'll do with myself." I appreciate that support. You have no idea. But hopefully, we discussed the finer points of making a proper plate of nachos. And I mean a proper plate of nachos. If you're going to make nachos, okay, like you want to put, normally you might put like the onions, the sour cream, and all this other shit. on top of your nachos, the guacamole, or the onions. Okay, your first layer at the bare minimum should contain beef and cheese and chips. Then your second layer has all that, then some. It makes for a tastier plate of nachos, in my opinion, because you get done going through the top layer and then you get to the bottom layer, and the bottom layer of chips, they're not completely naked. They're just, you know what I'm saying? They actually have toppings on them, and then like when you're eating the nachos on you're on the bottom layer, you're still like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Best part about eating nachos when you first break into them, that top layer of beef and cheese and whatever else. But I'm telling you, if you don't have beef to make the proper nachos, you don't need it. You don't need it. Just repeat your layers. Layer one, chips, cheese, beef. Layer two can consist of the same things and then the stuff you normally put on top of it. That way, you know what I'm saying, YouTube? And this is a helpful tip from me to you. This will make your nachos that much tastier. You can't tell me that when you're sitting there eating nachos and you get done with the top layer of nachos, the bottom layer is just chips, and you're like, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be as quick to finish the bottom layer when it's like that. It's just like, uh, no, I spilled like shredded cheese all over the floor when I was making my nachos. So I had to bust out the vacuum cleaner and pick it up. That's what's up. But Cobra makes the best nachos. And you too. The secret to making the best nachos is not your topping, but it's your topping placements. Okay? You see what I'm saying, YouTube? You get a plate of nachos, and if you do like one layer, that's fine. But like if you really want to stack it with your nacho cravings, okay, it's all about having that healthy chip to nacho ratio kind of thing. Like you don't want too many chips, you don't want too much cheese. I love cheese, but there is such a thing as too much cheese. If you're digging through like layers of cheese to get to the chips, yikes. And the thing about making those nachos, like I showed you, is they're super cheap. Like a thing of French onion dip and Doritos and a big old bag of shredded cheese. It's not going to cost you hardly anything. It's going to be cheap AF. Even if you get the genetic brand or the off brand, you're still making nachos, dude. Now, what have we learned in today's live stream? Like this is some kind of fucking shitty episode of Sesame Street. Elmo likes nachos. Okay. No, I'm serious, you too. We have learned that making nachos does not require absolute brain power, just a simple know how. Because you can't tell me that when you're eating nachos, if you're a fan of nachos, you get to the top layer, and then the bottom layer is just naked chips, and you're like, it's a bit disappointing, dude. You're sitting there like all the guacamole, pico de gallo, you know. So like if you put like beef, cheese, jalapenos, pico de gallo, guacamole, and shredded cheese, sour cream, and onions on your nachos, like you're really dressing it up. Bottom layer needs to have bare minimum the beef and the cheese if you can squeeze it. Because trust me, when you're eating nachos and you get to the bottom layer, like I said, you're sitting there going, "Ooh, nachos, yummy." And then you get to the top layer and you're like, "That was really good." And then you go to reach in for another nacho and it's just like the bottom layer is just bone dry plain. It sucks, to be honest. Oh, fuck me, I sprayed beer all over the place. Woo! And you can make nachos out of pretty much any chip if it's strong enough to hold the toppings. You know what I'm saying? But when I make nachos, I love to use nacho cheese Doritos from Frito Lay. Not a sponsor. That's free advertisement, babe. And I'm telling you right now, like it just adds an extra layer of cheese. You can use whatever nacho chip you want to use. You can use whatever tortilla chip you want to use to make nachos. But I'm telling you right now, nacho cheese Doritos are the best chips for making nachos, in my opinion. The first time I made nachos with nacho cheese Doritos, I was hanging out with my buddy Trent. I can remember the day too, man. Tell you what, came over to my house. We were just kids at the time, and he came over and I busted out a bowl and I busted out some cheese or some shredded cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like I busted out the nacho cheese Doritos, the shredded the shredded cheddar cheese, and then I literally took like the parmesan you get, like the kind of parmesan you shake on top of your spaghetti, that super powdered parmesan cheese that you sprinkle on top of your pasta. That kind of cheese, that powdered mozzarella parmesan, whatever you want to call it. I took that shit and I sprinkled it on top of the Doritos and the shredded cheese. Then I hit it in the microwave, and it was so fucking good because that powdered Parmesan cheese that you sprinkle on top of your pasta when you want to put some Parmesan on your spaghetti. I put that shit on top of the nacho cheese Doritos and the freshly shredded cheddar cheese. And it made some seriously fucking dank nachos, dude. A little bit of fucking ranch to go with that bitch. And it's like, okay, I like ranch Doritos, but like if I open up a bag of Doritos, the first thing I think is nacho cheese Doritos. Doritos has a bunch of amazing flavors. They got their cool ranch. Their flaming hot nachos are super delicious, in my opinion. The limon, you know, what's his name? Post Malone. There you go. I remembered it. Post Malone's got his own Doritos, and they're delicious. You see all these celebrities coming out with their own Dorito flavor, and they've been straight bangers, dude. And if you're making like nachos, you want to use tortilla chips. They're the best chips for making nachos. If you tried using Lay's potato chips, to make nachos. I would use them as a chip accessory. Like if you did like a layer of Cool Ranch Doritos and some cheese, then you hit it with like a layer of Lay's potato chips and some more cheese. You know, Lay's potato chips are made by the same company that makes Doritos, so they're delicious. However, they're not made for making nachos because of the structural integrity. They're good for a light little crunch, but like you go to if you put a shit ton of cheese on some Lay's potato chips and microwave it, you're gonna be eating that bitch with a fork because as soon as you try to pick up the chip, it's like, oh. And here's the thing of it. Lay's potato chips are delicious. They have so many delicious flavors to choose from. Barbecue, cheddar sour cream, sour cream and chives, regular. Ugh, sorry, but like I like the Lay's, the Lay's chips and the Doritos. Frito Lay is the company that makes them, and Frito Lay makes delicious chips, in my opinion. And then you got the Ruffles, and then you got the Pringles, and it's just like chips or crisps, as the English call them, are delicious. Yeah, well, it's the weekend, and I'm sitting here talking your ear off on how to properly make nachos and saying the same 10 things over and over. Fucking Asperger's, let me tell you. Mhm. I do like making a proper plate of nachos. And that's the beauty of it. If I can cook it with my microwave, if I can cook the food with my microwave, in my personal opinion, it's already gained the Cobra seal of approval. Now, if I got a woman over and I want to show off, of course, I'm going to cook something a bit fancier than just a hot pocket or a plate of nachos. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. Because I got some recipes that I've made over the years that were so fucking delicious. They turned out so fucking good. And I'm just like, okay, I'm saving this. Examples, Cobra. I have your examples. My chicken Alfredo bacon chicken Alfredo. The chicken Alfredo that I made on my YouTube channel with the chicken and the bacon and the beer and the white wine and the four cheese Alfredo sauce. Okay, stop it, YouTube. And the angel hair pasta. Okay, some of the methods I use to make, like traditionally I cook it like you normally cook pasta to al dente perfection. But then you start seeing all the ingredients I throw into it and like throwing ruffles, ridges, original into it. You're thinking to yourself, what? Okay, it's all about flavor and like crunch. Okay. And by the time I got done making that chicken Alfredo that I made on my YouTube, keep in mind that was a first time recipe when I got the ingredients. I'm like, I have a very basic idea of how to cook chicken Alfredo and how to make it. I know how to cook pasta, so let's just throw it together. And I had some camo silver ice and some apothic white wine and some virgin olive oil and some country crock original butter spread and some angel hair pasta. And I threw it together, YouTube. It was so fucking good. Like, you see it when in my cooking videos, like, even if it's not, like, the healthiest or more sanitary of practices, I'm eager to create recipes and contribute an original recipe to the culinary experience. People are sitting there going, "Okay, I've tried this 1,000 times. Where's the originality?" People who come up with their own original recipes, it doesn't mean they're always gonna taste good. Some of my recipes are not the tastiest. The fiery fish pizza, no, 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 no. I'm sorry, I disrespected pizza like that. I like pizza, I like fish, I like spicy food. So I thought, why not put it together and make it as spicy as possible? Of course, you all saw the video on my YouTube channel. You're just like, ah, ah, oh God, Cobra, that looks disgusting. Oh God, he's actually eating it. Oh, it's so bad. Even he's going, no, dude. I'm reminiscing about the good old days. But no, I still make cooking videos and I still do cooking videos and food hacks. I wouldn't call that not a plate of nachos a cooking video, just one of your basic King Cobra nachos. And it doesn't matter what chips you're using, what cheese, and what your toppings are. Okay. You could totally make a vegan nacho if you wanted to. Okay. It doesn't matter if you're using vegan or meat options, YouTube. The success and secrets to making good nachos. I showed you the secret. Are you paying attention? Because you want to have your chips, your cheese, your veggies, and your meats. Repeat the layers in the same order you started. So, as an example, I showed you the nacho cheese Doritos that I made. I did a layer of nacho cheese Doritos, a sprinkle of that sharp cheddar cheese from Ukraine, and then, of course, some Dean's bacon French onion dip, a couple goops of that on top of the cheese. And then I repeated the layers one, two, and three once again and hid it in the microwave. And I did stop it periodically to make sure the cheese didn't melt over the plate. Because that can happen when the cheese and that French onion dip coagulate together. It creates an amazing flavor combo, but it can also make you just like cheese dripping over your plate, which looks good on like cartoon status when you're animating things. But in real life, it's just like, what a mess. No, I want all of that to be on top of my chips. Thank you very much. You could totally make vegan nachos if you wanted to. You have like a vegan cheese that melts the same way as regular dairy cheese. You could totally do it, people. There's nothing stopping you. However, I would suggest the two layer method because, like I said, it sucks balls when you're eating a plate of nachos. You get done eating the top layer, and the bottom layer literally has nothing on it. It's just chips. You're like, yeah, okay, it's something to snack on, I guess. But like, dude, it's disappointing, is what it is. I'm sorry, but as a stoner, pothead, and somebody who drinks alcohol, nachos are a staple in my diet. They're easy enough to make. That's the beautiful thing of it. Is if you don't have the time to make your nacho chips by scratch, buy a bag of fucking tortilla chips, some shredded cheese, and there you go. You don't gotta get super crazy with it, YouTube. But I'm gonna, like I said, you throw down your chips onto your plate, you add your cheese, and then you add another layer of chips and cheese. That way, your top layer with your bottom layer both have chips and cheese. Yeah, I'm done repeating myself because at this point, it's like I already know the comments people are gonna make. Oh, Cobra, I'm just not sure how you make nachos. How do you do that again? My, it's already 10 o'clock on the weekend. Mhm. I got one beer left and then one buzzball right here. Fangirl Friday was talking to me about the buzzballs. And I already know what's up. I know the company. They do make amazing flavors, in my opinion. However, this is the peach flavored. So when Fangirl Friday was telling me about Buzzballs, I was like, honey, I already know the company. Yeah. Well, that's what's up, dude. Shout out to Spooky Girl and Fangirl Friday and Fangirl Kate and all the fangirls out there tonight. Fangirls Sarah, definitely. And yeah, dude, fucking Dana and all the awesome fangirls. That's what's up. Huh. You're welcome, Kate. Thanks for being a fan of my videos. People are sitting there going, Cobra, what are you doing? I'm over here like nobody wants to see me make nachos. But then I got some donations in PayPal, and I was just like, all right, you know what? I will fucking make some nachos then and demonstrate proper techniques. Okay, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter what ingredients you use for your nachos. You want proper nachos. You want to make sure every layer of chips has some ingredients. If you're making like a small plate, then one layer nachos are fine. But me personally, it's like sometimes I get full and then I start craving those nachos again. And it's like, okay, check this out. You know, you could make homemade Doritos, but they're a pain in the ass to make. You'd have to like make tortillas and add a shit ton of cheese powder and select seasonings. There's plenty of recipes on how to make nacho cheese Doritos on the internet. And once you make those tortillas, you gotta bake them. And then once they're baked and they turn into actual tortillas, you gotta cut them into like little triangles and then deep fry them in some oil. Excuse me. Really. So yeah, making homemade tortilla chips is so much more authentic and so much better than any Frito-Lay chip could ever make. No offense to Frito-Lays, but authentic food tops factory-made food any day. But holy Toledo, Batman! It's after 10 o'clock. Mm. Nacho Libre, yeah, exactly. I'll catch you Cocobas later.